Winston, welcome to Real Talk Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can you tell us about yourself?
Okay. My name is Winston Nenesaki. I'm a final year electrical engineering student at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. My interests vary actually, but recently I found myself interested in things to do with finance. I think for about a year now I've been doing a lot of research in that area. So yeah, in a nutshell, I don't have much going on.
Wow. All right, so Winston, I'm going to ask you a couple of random questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want you to know your answers. And feel free. I mean, it's real talk, so just be real with me.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think the meaning of life is?
The meaning of life. For me personally, right? You know, I believe in an easy life. Contrary
life.
to, not soft life, you know. Even if you want to call it soft life, I believe it has to be built. I mean, though I believe in an easy life, I don't believe in it being handed to you. I think it's something you have to establish and then you run with it. So to me, life is putting yourself in the position where you face less stress and the least path of trouble and resistance. And with that, I think you're good to go. That's just for me.
Wow.
I don't like anything that puts me under tension or pressure. Though if need be, I'll handle it because...
But can you work under pressure?
I can. Yeah, that's why I said it's not like... I know life is not easy, but I believe it can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the moment you realized you were wrong, and what was the cause of this epiphany?
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was the cause of this epiphany?
It's not something I was adamant about, but for a brief period in my life, I, believe it or not, dabbled a bit in atheism. Like, I used to be one of those people who used to think there was a valid argument in the fact that there was no God. Yeah, I remember there was a time like that in my life, but with time I've come to abolish that.
So what made you realize that there's a God?
Okay.
When you say God, you mean the Christian God?
Certainly the Christian God.
Okay.
What made me come to that realization? I think SHS was a major turning point for me because...
By the way, which SHS did you attend?
Presby Boys Secondary School,
Okay.
Legon. So prior to going to Presec Legon, that was when I had these ideas. And like I said, it wasn't like something I used to push out there, or like when I hear someone talking about God, I'll be like, this rubbish. But it was just in the back of my mind. And when people use God as a reason for me to do something, I was like, Charlie. But then when I got to Presec, okay, I met a few people who were very godly, spiritual, and I don't know. I guess prior to going to school, a lot of the people I saw who were spiritual weren't living spiritual lives. They spoke indeed, but did contrary. And so to me, all you are doing is more like a joke. But I actually met people who followed these things. You could see it in their lives. You can see that this person is serious about what he's saying. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to be like them because, you know, when I got to school, I met someone. His name was Solomon Ayi Mensah. And back then I was so... one of the highest priorities in my life was academics. But then he told me something. I wanted to join the quiz team. And he was like, it's an admirable goal, but he would rather that my greatest desire coming out of Presec is that everyone who encountered me will say that this boy knew God. And I don't know. That resonated with me, and from that time I started going for meetings. I started interacting with more people like that, and I guess with time my mind was changed, and yeah, since then it's been like that. Yeah,
that sounds interesting. Yeah. What is your personal mantra?
My personal mantra. You know, I've never thought about it, but let me see. My personal mantra. Okay. It's a bit cliche, okay? But I believe you can do whatever you put your mind to. And in my case, it's from, should I say, a sense of pride. You know, growing up, I've met all kinds of people. And
when you say all kinds of people, what do you mean?
I mean people from different walks of life.
Can you give examples?
Okay, so I've interacted with poor people, I've interacted with rich people, I've interacted with humble people, I've interacted with proud people, I've interacted with rich, humble people, and I've interacted with rich, proud people. I've interacted with people who look down on others, and I've interacted with people who value others. And you know, through it all, there was one group of people that rubbed me the wrong way, and it was rich, proud people. I personally don't believe in respect of persons, okay? There's no one in this world. In fact, I'm even being honest, as outlandish as it may sound, there's no one in this world who I'd rather be than me. And there's nothing anyone has that I want. I don't know if it makes sense. Because I believe that anything I want, I can get it. And there's no reason why you should be able to talk to me anyhow or look down on me because of something you have that I seem not to have. Because for all you know, the reason I don't have is that I don't need it or I don't want it. It's not something I've reached out to grab and I couldn't get. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, I'm not a respecter of persons. I think that's one of my mantras.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what one philosophy do you live by?
Do I live by? I think you should be authentic. And it's not something I do all the time, honestly. I think it's something you grow into. When I say authentic, I mean not putting up a facade, no matter where you find yourself, and just
so
being...
So basically being real.
Yes, being
like
real.
Like a show, real talk.
Exactly, real talk. You get it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say it and a lot of people get on others' case for not being real. But in reality, it's not easy to be real. Trust me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, honestly. I don't know. Okay, I'm very specific about things. So if I say be real, I mean in every sense, not in certain aspects of your life. And I pay attention to detail. If there's one thing about myself I know, it's that I pay attention to detail. So I'm that person who you can make one mistake that no one else in the room notices. And because of that, I think a certain way about you. It won't change how I act towards you, but it's just in the back of my mind. And if I say I'm real, that means even in myself, I don't want to see those slight errors, those slight deviations from what I truly are. You get it? So until I get to that, but that's why I say it's not easy to be real, because it shouldn't even be different on the smallest level. That's how I see it.
It should be very perfect.
Very perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you consider to be your personal calling?
My personal calling? This. I'll start with a story, yeah. When I was younger, my friends wanted me to be a doctor, right? My mom says when I was born, a certain lady gave her prophecy that will help people, right? And she assumed helping people meant being a doctor, taking care of patients, helping people with their ailments. But growing up, I had different interests, and honestly, not even for a second was medicine one of them. Do you get it? I think I gravitated more towards engineering, technology, things like that. Even that these days, it just fascinates me, but honestly, if I get out, run away. But yeah, so I do believe that that person wasn't wrong. I do believe I'm here to help people, but I believe there are various ways you can help people, right? So if anything, yeah, I think my calling is to help people. As to how, I'm not entirely certain, but yeah.
You said you're a Christian, you believe in God. So if you had the opportunity to ask God a question,
okay,
what question would it be? And why would you ask that question?
You know, I don't really have a question for God. It's more of a request. Can I tell you what that is? Okay. In as much as I believe in the purpose of life and the importance of everything, ever since I can remember, okay, one thing I've wished for is to be able to do nothing. So I used to wonder, for now I'm here and there's nothing I can do about it, but let's just say I walked in God's statutes, I fulfilled all my purpose, and God finally came and it was time for him to reward me. Could I ask him to just make me disappear? Or be in a state of eternal peace and sleep, like I'm not doing anything, I'm just there. I really don't like lifting a finger to do anything. But for now, I don't have much choice. But yeah, if I could make one request, it would be that I guess people don't want to be forgotten. People don't like media. I don't mind. If I'll be at peace and not doing anything, I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think we owe each other as human beings?
Each other. Respect, I think. Respect.
Regardless of whoever.
Regardless of whoever. You know, I'm Christian, right? And not everyone is Christian. I mean, we all know this. And truth be told, not everyone will be Christian. No matter, So I believe respect for other people and their beliefs, and not just in terms of religion, you know. There are some things, I don't want to bring up certain sensitive matters here.
Feel free.
Okay. As a Christian, I'm not for LGBTQIA whatnot. Totally not, okay? But then there are also people who tend to be violent towards these people who tend to discriminate against them for these things. In as much as I believe it's wrong, I also believe that what I'm taught as a Christian is that wrongs can be righted, right? Sins can be forgiven, and change can occur.
Yeah.
And I was saved, right? I too had to experience that change. So if someone is in the phase where they are yet to experience their change or they are on the wrong path, it gives me no right to be violent towards them, disrespect them, discriminate. All I can do is pray for them, I guess. And then those who are willing to have that conversation with me as to why I think what they are doing isn't right or why I have a problem with it, I can expound on that. But beyond that, I feel like we should respect everyone regardless of how we feel about them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you weren't afraid of failure, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently if I wasn't afraid of failure? You know the funny thing? I believe if I was afraid of failure, I wouldn't be living life the way I'm living it right now. Because there are lots of decisions I make I know most people can't make. And there are a lot of things I'm willing to forgo, and they have consequences, and I'm well aware of the consequences, but I don't.
But regardless, you still
I don't worry too much about them.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
You strike me as this footballer, Zlatan. You know him.
Okay, yeah, I know Zlatan.
Yeah, has anyone told you that before?
No.
But you have his ego.
Really?
Yeah, you do have his ego. I'm not saying you're proud, but I like the way you believe in yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wish people watching also believe in themselves, you know, just as the way you believe in yourself.
That's a big compliment. Thank you very much.
What would you consider to be your spirit animal?
My spirit animal? Wow. Interesting. Should I say a cat because they are lazy? But no, that's just a joke. I've never thought about it, but...
Or which animal would you relate to?
You know, I like to think of myself as wise, so I'll go for an ant. Yeah.
I heard you're an anime lover. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I really love anime.
Anyone who wants to start watching anime?
If you want to start, the ones I'm coming to list are not my favorite, but a good place to start, Full Metal Alchemist. I'll say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And then perhaps Hunter x Hunter, something like that, yeah.
Okay, so which one is your favorite?
One Piece.
Why One Piece?
One Piece is bliss. One Piece is freedom. One Piece... You know, even putting anime aside, I've never seen, watched, read, heard of a story quite as intriguing as One Piece story. And the world in One Piece is so big. You know that there are over 1,000 characters in One Piece.
Wow.
Yeah, more than 1,000. I can sit here and mention every single one of them. You know, and everyone's story is tackled in detail. Like, there's no character who is just there for being
like a sideline.
Exactly. And the story is just intricate, and there's a lot of mystery. Questions are answered, and they're answered, and new questions arise, and it's just mind-boggling.
Wow.
But One Piece is it.
Interesting. Are you a gamer?
Used to be, not anymore.
Why? What happened?
Actually, funny story, anime took me off that path. So, I think somewhere in 2014, we had an Xbox 360 at home, and then it broke down. My parents were doing long with fixing it, and so that period too, we had gotten Wi-Fi, and I had friends who watch anime. And they were, so I was like, oh, let me start one of these things and see how it is. So when I got hooked on anime, it's like, I even forgot we had a console which was broken, blah, blah, just a whole rabbit hole. Now here I am.
All right, Charlie Winston, thank you so much for coming to Real Talk Podcast. Do you have any last words or any shout outs or advice for anyone?
Last words. Strange coming from me considering all I've said, but everyone should do their best to know God, and especially early. The reason I say strange coming from me is myself sitting here, I have a lot of questions concerning God, concerning Christianity. But you know, that's the beauty of it. So many unanswered questions, so many whys, so many what ifs, but you still believe, and that in itself is an adventure. So forget what you've heard somewhere, forget what someone has told you, forget what some pastor has done somewhere that you heard. It's about you, right? So I'd ask everyone to give God a shot.
They should get to know God for themselves.
Yeah,
have a personal relationship
have a
with Him.
personal relationship with Him. Yeah,
Wow.
I think those are my last words. Yeah.
Okay. Any shout outs?
Shout out to my little brother. I think he's my best friend. Yeah, so shout out to my little brother.
That's a bad bromance, right?
Yeah. I think, and everyone who has helped me become who I am, you know, I don't think any experience in life is wasted. Good or bad, I've learned something from it, and it has helped me formulate the ideologies I have right now, made me who I am. So yeah, shout out to everyone, to human beings.
Winston, thank you so much again, and all the best.
Thank you for having me. This was amazing.